Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Tobie Grant Recreation Center ribbon cutting. I'm Alan Mitchell, Community Development Director, the individual responsible for the design and construction of this beautiful $10.2 million project that So today will be a key day where we memorialize the transfer of this building to the Parks and Rec Department and the library system to provide services to the Scottdale community and the DeKalb County community. I've been honored to be associated with bringing this project online. It was a blessing to recognize Ms. Tobie Grant and all the significant things she's done for the DeKalb County. Today, you'll hear from a number of individuals, key elected officials in the county, to express their gratitude for the work that's been done. Also, we have individuals from your community to speak, those individuals that were stakeholders that worked along with us to be able to bring this project online. So that's going to be interesting. Should be an exciting event. I will recognize a series of individuals, the elected officials, HUD representatives here today. Also, we've got a number of people that helped us bring the project to fruition. They're here today. We're going to try to get through the program in about 45 to 50 minutes. And then after that, we'll give you the pleasure of having a tour of this 24,000 square foot facility. I'll get up and give you the details of the things that are inside the building. And I'll also recognize those individuals, as I said earlier, that help participate bringing this project to fruition. But before I go further, I'd like to, in essence, bring up a blessing. I'd like to bring up Dr. Felicia Capers from the Greater Piney Grove Baptist Church to provide invocation and grace.
It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to be a resident of Scottdale. And the history of Scottdale needs to be spread throughout the new residents. We are a very big, growing community. Now, in order to be inclusive of each and every one, this is a diversified county, and also Scottdale is diversified. I'm going to start with opening in an Islamic way. O God, O ultimate object of need, O He through whom requests are attained, O He whose favors are not bought by prices. And then in a Judaism way, give ear, Adonai, to our prayer, healed our plea for mercy. In time of need, we call to you, for you will answer us. And in the Baptist frame, Father God, in the matchless name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, we thank you for this building. We thank you for where you have brought us from. We thank you for where you are taking us. And we give you the praise for each and every individual that put forth the effort to bring this state-of-the-art recreational facility for us, our neighbors, and family to enjoy. We pray that you would bless it with peace. Each and every person coming in be protected and shielded from any danger. We give you the praise and thank you for each and every home represented. Bless, heal, and deliver. It is in your name we say it all is so. So it is. Amen? Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Thank you. At this juncture, I'd like to bring up our leader, inspiration for the DeKalb County, the individual that makes it a lot better for us to live and play, Mr. Michael Thurman. Give him a great round of applause. Mr. CEO.
This is truly a day that the Lord has made. And I was talking to Mr. Mitchell and others, and this is a 30-year dream. 3 decades. And someone told me, well, Mike, you know, my prayers have been answered. But the truth is, these prayers got prayed long before we started praying. And you know, there's a thing called a time release blessing. And I tell my generation, you know, the reason we educated, the reason we got what we got, is that men and women who couldn't read and write prayed for these college degrees that we had. So I'm just so glad to be with you. I'm so glad that the point man for DeKalb County government, Mr. Alan Mitchell, whose job was to bring this fruition. Give him a hand. Where Alan is? Give him a hand. Thank you so much. The point man. I'm so glad to be in the great community of Scottdale. How about that? And I want the mayor. I want Mayor Greg Everett. Come on, Greg, stand up. The mayor. Now, he moved here years ago. Now, the one thing about it, Greg is my friend. Miss Betty, we go to the house and we watch football together. We watch the Super Bowl. But you know when you got an undertaker for a good friend? Time I walk in the door, it look like he's sizing me up for something. I don't know what it is. You want to say something? Come on, say something, Greg.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
He gave me the title, but the true mayor of Scottdale for many, many years was Miss Gussie Brown. And I had Miss Gussie Brown, when I came to Scottdale 42 years ago, Scottdale adopted me, and I had an opportunity to speak all over the United States and all over the world. And the first name I bring up, I'll talk about Scottdale. This little old country boy from Conyers came to Scottdale to start a business. And there was people here who believed in me. The late Miss Gussie Brown and Reverend Reed, Reverend Britton, Miss Gail Lundy. I can just go on and on. I don't want to miss nobody. But these people believed in me, and they convinced their children, Mr. Norman, Mr. Thomas Norman. I can remember going to Traveler's Rest, and he was, come on up here, Boy Deacon. We're gonna adopt you. So you all know all these people. And Miss White, I used to call her Big Butt White. She ran Tobie Grant. She loved me. She had 13 to 14 kids, and I know all of them. And so I tell the world, I would not be what I am today without Scottdale. I have 5 funeral homes and crematory, but I tell them Scottdale built all of those places. It was because of the people in Scottdale believed in me and invested in me. That's why I continue to invest back in Scottdale. We love you and thank you all for building this building, Brother Mitchell. And Scottdale, we needed that. And for those new people that is here in the community, Scottdale is one big family. We don't care what religion you are, what race you are. We are one big family. Thank you, Mr. CEO, my friend.
You had to call her big butt. But we can't get nothing done. You know, being CEO is okay. But unless you can get 4 votes on the commission, you ain't got nothing but a bad day. So I want to recognize the current and former commissioners who without their vote, nothing happens. Amen? You know, you can be sitting up here, but somebody got to put you up there. And so let me introduce and recognize the men and women who make up the team that helps DeKalb County to grow. First, we got Commissioner Lorraine Cochran Johnson right here. Stand up. And we got the man who represents this area now. Young man who gave his life to military service, a great leader, Commissioner Steve Bradshaw. Come on now. And let me tell y'all a little joke. Y'all know when y'all elected me back in 2017, the first meeting I had with a commissioner was with Kathy Gannon. And so we met, and I thought she had a long agenda. She didn't. And the only thing she asked me was, you help me get the money for Tobie Grant. That was her thing. So Commissioner Kathy Gannon, give her a hand. Raise your hand, Kathy Gannon. Now, I want all of the DeKalb County employees, y'all see me sometime on TV, but the people who make DeKalb County work are the men and women who show up every day and get the job done. This facility is going to the library and the parks and rec. Is that right, Alan? So we got the director of our library system, Ashley, where's she here? Come on now, raise her hand, give her a hand. And we got the head of our rec department, Mr. Chuck Ellis and Mr. Billups. Y'all give them a hand. And all DeKalb employees, raise your hand. Give them a hand. All DeKalb employees. All right, I did what I was asked to do, and I'm like a Baptist preacher. I tell you, I ain't gonna take that long. And about an hour and a half later, I'm still talking. But that's all right. God bless you. I'm so proud of Scottdale, so proud of this community. And thank you all. God bless you for having honored me with the opportunity to serve as CEO of DeKalb County. You all have changed my life, and I won't forget you. I'm going to leave early. I got a friend who's being funeralized today at Ebenezer over in Atlanta. I must be there, but God bless each and every one of you. I'm so proud, and Miss Tobie Grant is smiling down on us today.
That was outstanding, outstanding. Next, we're going to bring up the commissioner responsible for the district, District 4, a leader, a very significant leader, Mr. Steve Bradshaw.
Good morning. Good morning. I say again, good morning. Good morning. It is a great day to be in Scottdale. And it's an honor for me to be here today as we celebrate and culminate the end of a long journey. And it has indeed been a long journey. But thanks to the patience and persistence of a lot of dedicated people, community leaders, political leaders, by the grace of God, we are here. We are here today. And it is a wonderful thing. Now, Mr. CEO, so appreciative of your presence today. It's always an honor to have you in my district. And I know that you are fond of saying that DeKalb is rising. Now, that's a true statement. But there's a corollary statement that goes with that. District 4 is rising. I would like to thank my friend Alan Mitchell, our Director of Community Development, and his entire team for their professionalism, dedication, and steadfast commitment to creating and developing this center. Everybody knows that Alan runs a tight ship, and it's my understanding that this facility came in on time and on budget, and that's not an easy thing to do. And of course, we would not be here today if it were not for the generous land donation of Miss Tobie Grant. In 1960, Miss Grant donated 40 acres to the Scottdale community for a community and recreation center and library. And since its opening, Tobie Grant Recreational Center has afforded the residents in this area a place to meet and fellowship, and it's important that we acknowledge that history. And as time has marched on, the need for a new center emerged, and that need has existed for quite some time. This wonderful new facility will fulfill that need, that critical need. And of course, a new recreational facility of this scale does not happen in a vacuum. It does not happen overnight. The seeds for this center were planted a long time before I came on the county commission. Therefore, it's an honor for me to share the stage today with my friend and colleague, former District 6 Commissioner Kathy Gannon. Please give her a hand. And it was her initial vision that put us on the path, that charted the course that led us to where we are today. And it's always good to see you, Kathy, and it is altogether proper and fitting that you are here today to see the fulfillment of this vision, your vision. Now, shortly after I joined the Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Gannon met with me and brought me up to speed on what she was trying to accomplish, and then she made an ask of me. Simply stated, the ask was for money. I'm just trying to keep it real, y'all. What she asked me for was money. And after all, nothing of significance gets accomplished without the appropriate amount of funding. And after all, as she said to me, this facility will also be in District 4. Now, that's always a persuasive line of argument. And in due time, the decision to support this project for me became very easy. And on May the 8th, 2018, I allocated $250,000 from my park bond funds to help complete the funding of this project. Now, I want to be clear. I didn't say $2,500. I didn't say $25,000. I said $250,000. And it was indeed my pleasure to do so. And one of the things I love about this facility is that it's an intergenerational center. That means it's here for people of all ages to enjoy and fellowship with each other. That is a great thing. And finally, to the people of the Scottdale community, your patience has been rewarded. Your prayers have been answered. And I hope that you are pleased with what you see here today. As your District 4 Commissioner, I'm so proud to stand here with you, and I hope that you all enjoy this space for many years to come. Thank you so much for affording me this opportunity.
Thank you, Commissioner Bradshaw. Next, we're going to bring up a commissioner that's no longer with us, but we miss dearly. But she elected to come back to participate in this project. Why? Because she was the inspiration for getting us to be put on this project to get it accomplished. That individual's name is Commissioner Kathy Gannon. So, Commissioner, would you come up, please?
I'm going to add on to where the CEO started this morning in his prayer. Let us rejoice and be glad. Woo! And thank you, Mr. Levitt, for naming all the names of wonderful folks that you remember that I barely got to meet, and many, many more who've come before us, who had this vision and helped make it happen. I love that you call me the inspiration and the vision. Behind closed doors, they were calling me something else. I had no problems begging, twisting arms, blackmailing, whatever needed to get done to find that money to get this thing built. When I was running for office the very first time in 2004, I'm aging myself, but I came to Scottdale, and the first thing that, I think it was during one of the family picnic days, celebrations, which was always so fun, and they took me into the old rec center, and they wouldn't let me leave. And I got a grand tour, and I was told, we take all of our electeds in here, and if you want to be elected, you need to do something about it. Amen. And so then they took me back outside and said, but first you have to audition, you have to dance up on that stage. So of course you've got a DJ here because this is a party, and you folks know how to party when it's something special to party about, and this certainly is something special to party about. Hello, please join us in the front row. Thank you. So I was elected in 2005, And so as I looked through money, I'm learning how to do stuff. And one of the things we do is, I always get this wrong, where's CBDG. There were all kinds of funds with code names to them. And so there was this little one that said, Tobie Grant 2 million. And it was deleted. And I went to Chris Morris at the time and said, this can't be right. I just got elected. We're doing Tobie Grant. And she said, well, the reason we deleted it, it's been in the budget for a few years, but there's nobody to make this happen. And I said, well, I am here. We are going to make this happen. Yeah. It took us a minute or two. It took us a minute. But I spent many, many years. And we had the best committee. We had some fun. We learned a lot. We must have toured all the recreation centers. We've got all the dimensions of every rec center in DeKalb County if anybody needs to know them. And what we wanted, what we didn't want, and most of it's here, right? Yes, okay. It was a great committee to work with. And of course, Mr. Mitchell, Alan, thank you so much. We'd have monthly meetings to make sure everything is going as it should be. And I know Alan was running around like crazy before the meeting because, like I said, behind closed doors, I had a different name. And, but he got it done, and we did it, and now it's here, and I'm so excited. I haven't been in yet. So I am thrilled. I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm just so glad. And one of the things I do want to say, though, is when I retired, and that's why I look so young now. This is my second year of freedom, and it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. I have a 4-year-old grandson. I'm having the best time of my life. So, but before we left, you know, we had our early meetings in December. We have them all early, the end of the year, and then we had the last board meeting was like, you know, the 15th or whatever, and then clicked the Zoom off. We've been Zooming for 2 years by then, and it was done. I went home, shed a tear or two, went and picked up my grandson, had a great party, but I never got a chance to say goodbye to people. And that is really what I miss about my retirement, is that I never got to go back to Scottdale, to all of my communities in District 6. It was the western half of DeKalb County. It's a lot of people. So I am so excited that I can be here today. And I know you saw me when I came in. I was hugging and kissing, so I hope you all have gotten your boosters. So, but I really miss you all so much. Thank you for everything you have done. The staff has been a delight to work with. Always find the answer to the questions, even if they're, you know, whatever it was. And it's just been my absolute pleasure, both to serve as a commissioner for District 6 for 16 years, but also to have met so many of you who have given me the inspiration to be the inspiration for things like this. So thank you so much, and I look forward to touring with you.
At this juncture, I'd like to invite our good friend, Commissioner Lorraine Cochran-Johnson, up to provide remarks. Commissioner.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I didn't come with the intent of saying anything, but I can say to you that it has been an honor since being elected to show up and remind people that a delay is not a denial. You know, I have toured this facility so much with Mr. Mitchell that I didn't realize it was not in my district. Y'all keep calling me and I keep showing up, and I also came to tell you I'm everyone's commissioner. When Commissioner Kathy Gannon decided to retire, I was absolutely heartbroken. She sat next to me, and you bequeathed to me a box that I have to this day of all types of documents that have just been invaluable to me. And a large part of those materials had to do with Tobie Grant. So I stand here, and it's a beautiful thing when people start a race and we finish it. So I want to say this is a $10.2 million facility. You have the largest gymnasium right here in Scottdale, in DeKalb County, Georgia. You now have a state-of-the-art library for our children. At a time when we're seeing Barnes and Nobles and other staples in the community go away. I look forward to continuing to support this vision. 24,000 square feet too, guys. Long overdue. But I just came to tell you, when we say that, DeKalb is on the rise, not only is DeKalb on the rise, it is a new DeKalb. And I'm so proud to be a part of it. Now, again, I thought I was your commissioner, and I still am. Y'all can continue to call me for anything you need, because help has no boundaries. And one thing about it, nothing will ever separate me from the love of my people. And you are my community. So God bless you. I'm grateful for Ms. Tobie Grant. If you don't know your history, read about her. She's that woman that everyone ought to aspire to be. And to those of you who fought so hard, because I've seen the emails, I know the conversations, to ensure that you would not be passed by. No, today the ship has landed. And to Mr. Mitchell, this is, in my opinion, one of the hardest working men, and I'm very cautious with respect. He's one of the hardest working people in DeKalb County, Georgia. Not only has he completed this project on time, but many others. Currently, this man is in the process of building 3 different senior and intergenerational centers at the same time. And he never misses a beat. So I'm grateful to serve alongside people like you. Commissioner Gannon, I miss you so much, words can't formulate. I see things differently now. To Commissioner Steve Bradshaw, thank you for giving me the honor to be here, and I won't, as they say in the Southern Baptist Church, I won't tarry long. CEO has already brought the message, so I guess I'll do the benediction. But thank you. I love each and every one of you and proud to represent you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you. Excellent words. At this juncture, what I'd like to do is also make an acknowledgement for a commissioner who's not here. Commissioner Tad Turry is the current District 6 commissioner who is not here. He had COVID, and he's in transit back to the area, so he couldn't be here today. So I ask you all to pray for him and to think of him as being also a key leader on this project, because it's actually in his super district. I'm going to cover 2 things which will be involvement of a lot of people. We're going to do this fairly quickly, but I'd like to very quickly go through what's inside the building, also bring up the individuals that have helped us bring this project to fruition. So I'm going to very quickly go through, and you'll see as you go in these things that I'm referring to in terms of what's here. We're in the back of the building. The front of the building is actually around the corner where we're going to have the ribbon cutting, where we have Tobie Grant displayed on the front entrance and in the rear. You get a chance to do that. When you take your tours, you're going to go through these doors and behind me, but exit through the front doors, and you get a chance to get a full complement of the building. So that's sort of some administrative things I'd like to cover. The building is, again, $10.2 million. And what does that mean? It says a design component that was done by PON, as well as the construction, which is done by SOCO Contracting. You'll see them later. Was the cost of the building. It's, again, 24,087 square feet exactly. The recreational center will have intergenerational programming conducted by the Parks Department. We also have a 2,000 square foot library. So of the 24,000 square feet, we've dedicated 2,000 of that to a state-of-the-art library, and Allison will come up later and talk about that. Also, we'll have Chuck Ellis, who's Director for Parks, to come up later to speak to the audience as well. It has multi-purpose rooms, 4B3, administrative offices, a multi-purpose basketball court, which means that you can do basketball, volleyball, pickleball, et cetera. We've got a number of facilities, which means that we've already got the lines on the court to be able to accommodate a series of things that you can play. There's also a screen you'll see which separates the basketball court. And you go inside, you'll see that. We've got it down about maybe 25% of the depth. It goes to the bottom of the floor. You'll see that when you go inside. The lobby is fairly large. There's a concession stand, which includes the popcorn machine, microwave, ice maker, et cetera. It's not a kitchen, but it's basically a concession area where you can have delicacies, food, et cetera. There are restrooms, changing rooms. So if you go in the restroom, you can actually change your clothing with both the male and female restrooms, allow you to be able to change your clothing. There's an arts and craft room. There's a dance and aerobics room, which is very elegant. There's a fitness room, which has weights. Anyone that's been there have been very impressive with the weights that are there. We tried to put in there treadmills and all the state-of-the-art things to deal with fitness. So take a look at that. It's toward the end of the building. There are storage facilities, utility spaces, and we have surface parking, as you can see here. And of course, there's landscaping. So that's sort of what's in the building. What I'd like to do next is get individuals to come up that are very important that helped us on the program. So the first thing I'll do is go to the design component. We've got the pleasure of having an individual that has become a friend over the years. He was the architect of record for this project, and he formerly worked for Pond. He's no longer with Pond, but I'll bring Matthew Cash up. Matthew, if you're here, could you come up, Matthew? He was the original architect for the drawings. So, thanks, Matthew. Also, I'd like to have the Pond team come up, Sonia Sabrawal, and whoever you brought with you. I think there's Holly from the structural steel components, as well as others, Kevin Champion. So, okay. And I can see you. Yeah. So, Kenneth Fluker from CERN, he's at the civil. So these are engineers. They're not construction folks. They're engineers that we relied on extensively throughout the project. And Matthew, I think Matthew is Matthew? Yeah, Matthew has not, no, you didn't get a chance to meet Sonia, but yeah. But Sonia did a great job of defending Matthew's drawings. Okay, and if you want a defense attorney, I would say hire Sonia, because she did a great job of defending all the drawings, which were great, I might add, but there are issues we had sometimes which create some controversy, but she did a great job defending you, Matthew. So you kind of owe her, if I had to say. Okay. Yeah, do that.
I've also got Holly from Sharon.
Yeah, and Kevin and Holly and Kevin Fluker, Kenneth Fluker, rather, from CERN. Also, we're going to get to the construction team, SoCo Contracting. So I'd like to have Paul, Barry, and Dave, and Men come up. These are the gentlemen that ran the SoCo. The company is owned by Paul Singh, who's coming up, Barry Dunlap, who's the project manager, Dave Wilson is the superintendent. You guys go. Okay. So I'd like to thank you guys for the work you did. It's been a 2-year journey with them. We developed friends in the process. I think of them, they've done an excellent job to be able to bring you a state-of-the-art facility, and we're excited about the work they've done. The next component would be the materials testing area. My good friend, Sam Alatine, who's with Matrix Engineering. Sam is a savior. Yeah, Sam's my buddy. Sam is hired to be an independent engineer to assess the things that are going on the project. He does materials testing from beginning to end, and Sam did an outstanding job. He's also worked on other projects, the East DeKalb Senior Center, which we just completed, and also he's working on the District 4 and 7 Center that's under construction. We plan to complete that in December. But Sam has been with us. He's been the lowest bidder. for that. We just don't pick Sam because we love him. We pick Sam because he's the lowest bidder. I need to make that point. Okay, but thank you, Sam, for the work you've done. Also, I think we've covered all the engineers. I don't think I've missed anybody. We do have other individuals here that helped us with permitting. I did see Marcus Robinson here. So if the development team would like to come up with Ricky Cunningham and Marcus, who's the chief building inspector, these are the guys that will make or break you in terms of whether you have things in line. So if any of you, now I know some of you might have permits that have been held up in the county and all that, but don't take it out on these guys. They're only here for Tobie Grant. So, but they play a key part in for us being able to get through getting the drawings that are created by the engineers permitted, and also being able to inspect the work that's done by the general contractors. So they play a key role in the county to keep us safe. And I say that again, keep us safe. Okay, so that's it. So those are the individuals that helped us. So would you all give them a great round of applause?
I know it's been said a lot already, but the truth of the matter is, this gentleman here, Alan Mitchell, this would not have happened without his leadership for DeKalb County, and of course our teams here with Pond, with Sonia, and especially Dave Wilson here, superintendent. These guys are the ones who made this thing happen and in a timely manner and get this great facility for the community here. So especially, like I said, Alan Mitchell for keeping the team together and being able to resolve issues and get things done in a timely manner. So thank you, Alan.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. Also, Vaughn Fountain, one of the individuals that's key, I want to bring him last because he's the glue for the project manager. So Vaughn Fountain, who works for facilities management, Vaughn, would you be able to come up? Where's Vaughn? This gentleman was the project manager. He had a very difficult role, I might add, because he had to swim between the contraction team, construction team, and the architects. His role has been an independent role to be able to provide guidance. He was my eyes and ears on the project, and I wanted to bring Vaughn up last because he's so important to be able to make sure the projects are going correct. So Vaughn, I thank you. Okay. Okay. So I think that concludes the introduction of the project, and also to thank those individuals. I know there are others that did administrative tasks. Brown Camp, for example, is standing in the back. She's our planning manager. She also provided great help. Wade Brown, you want to come up if you choose to? As well as Belinda DeBose. Ponda Anderson did all of the processing of the pay apps that were done for the $10.2 million that we processed. Ponda, you want to come up, please? These individuals were the backbone of the organization. And they are the individuals that actually you get paid. So if you don't get paid, keep in mind if you have many transactions, but these individuals are called the springs of the money, and they did a great job. Most people got here paid on time as a result of the team here being signing off on things. So it's very important to see who's behind the scenes. Please don't call them later if you have other issues, but they did a great job. So with that, we're going to move on. Thank you all. Sit back, okay? Thank you. The next part of the program, we're going to have the Parks and Recreation Director, Mr. Chuck Ellis, come up and provide remarks, followed by Allison Weisinger, who's the Library Director. Chuck?
Good morning and welcome everyone. This highly anticipated monumental occasion has finally come to fruition, and we are thrilled to celebrate the official ribbon cutting of the newly constructed Tobie Grant Recreation Center. I would be remiss if I didn't give an extra shout out. We've heard it several times this morning, but the CEO, commissioners, and even former commissioner, what you put into this project, it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you. I've got to say hats off to Alan Mitchell. I'd want him on my team any day of the week. He is a great person to work with, and he's sincere. He knows what he's doing, and he gets the job done. So I'm honored to be on the project with him. I think it was the first project I worked with when it became part Parks Director. You called me in and very inclusive of our ideas. And so what do you all do in parks that we might need to know? And all those things were included. So we all feel like it was a team project, and I think you're going to see the results from that. Also, Allison, we're looking forward to being your neighbor. First time we've had a library and a recreation center, and we're looking forward to that. I believe I saw some Parks Advisory Board members. I saw Sally Sears. I don't know if there's any more out there, but Wade, you're always supportive of us and everything we do, and we appreciate you being here. The inception of this project would not be possible without the late Mrs. Tobie Grant. Ms. Grant donated prominent land holdings to the county to be developed into a park, and now visitors to the Scottdale community will also discover a new recreation center and library services for citizens to enjoy. Ms. Grant was cherished, pillar of the community, because of her kindness and generosity to help others, and her legacy lives on, and right here is proof of it. So today is not only a celebration moment for a historical tribute to the Scottdale community. More importantly, we owe a big debt of gratitude to the people of this community who have been tremendously supportive. We would not have achieved such great master plan for the use of the site and the advancement of the surrounding community without their help and active participation. Also, the park staff are grateful for the visionaries that have contributed to this project and look forward to serving the community. And speaking of park staff, I'd like to recognize Mr. Billups, Deputy Director. Terrence Ramsey, I know you're here somewhere. He's the Recreation Manager who oversees all of our rec centers. And Mr. Melvin White will be the Center Director here. And many of you already know him, and we're really excited. Yeah. We also have other park staff from other parks, community recreation centers to help give the tours. And I want to say I'm so proud of these folks. We're nationally recognized. We're like one out of, I think the number is 40 out of 9,000 in the country, nationally accredited. We look forward to the future with optimism and are certain these amenities of the center will provide great resources for all ages to enjoy and serve as a unique regional attraction for DeKalb County for many years to come. Thank you all very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Allison Weisinger, and I'm the Library Director for DeKalb County. I've been with the county for 25 years, and it is truly, this is going to be one of the best days of those 25 years to see this Scottdale Tobie Grant Rec Center with a library open. One of my earlier assignments when starting with DeKalb was at the Clarkston Library, and we had the responsibility for Tobie Grant. And so I know Tobie Grant well. We've been providing these services for many, many years, and we are so happy that now we're going to have twice the space and twice the staff. And speaking of staff, I wanted to make sure y'all knew who the center staff are going to be for the library. And I think you all know Josiah. Raise your hand, Josiah is coming back. And we have Jared Bush, who's coming from another branch. He was promoted. And we have Charity Ivy, and she's a new staff member, so she's new to the Tobie community. So they're going to take care of all your library needs, and they're very excited to be over here. I also wanted to recognize very briefly, we have the library has a board of trustees that we're governed by, and we have Carol Morgan here. Carol in the back, wave hi. Were there any other trustees? Did any other trustees sneak in? Okay, I don't think so. And then we also, much of what we do gets funded by the county, but we also have a private foundation, the DeKalb Library Foundation, that works on our behalf to help us fund special things like our mobile hotspot checkout program, which we'll have here at Tobie, and also Summer Reading Club, the Georgia Center for the Books, and all kinds of other special programs. And so we have a number of members of our foundation are here. Can you all raise your hands? Some in the back. Dorian, I saw Dorian here. So they say hi. And then we also have a very special guest here, Julie Walker. Julie, where are, in the back. Julie Walker is the state librarian, so she is like the librarian for the entire state of Georgia. And she and her team and her agency help us with all kinds of things, from technology, getting funding for books, getting funding for buildings, expertise, camaraderie, and just support. And so we're very grateful that Julie always comes out to all of our openings, and we appreciate her and her team and what they can offer for us. I also wanted to thank, as it's been said before, Alan Mitchell and Community Development and the Parks and Rec Department for allowing us to continue to be a partner here in Scottdale. And the last thing I want to say is if you visited the old homework center, you probably knew when you first walked in the door, in the very back by the copier, there was a portrait of Miss Tobie Grant hanging there. And that portrait has been sitting in my office for the last couple of, really about a year and a half, keeping it safe. And we had it reframed, and it's now hanging in a place of honor right in the front, in the center of the lobby. And so I think it was Mr. Thurman said that Miss Tobie was watching down on us right now, and I think she really is, because she's in there. And Jackie, where's Jackie Brown? Jackie, y'all know Jackie. She used to work. She retired from the Tobie Rec Center it's been about 4 or 5 years, Miss Jackie, but she came back for the opening. We're so happy to see her. But I remember one of the things that she told me when I first met her, and she showed me the portrait of Tobie in the building, and she said, Miss Tobie's watching you. She said, she's watching you. So it kind of, and it's, wherever you are, you can see she's watching you, and I think she's going to like what she sees. So thank you all so much, and welcome.
Thank you, Allison, and thank you, Chuck. At this juncture, I'd like to introduce some individuals that are very significant. We mentioned earlier that the project was funded with federal funds as well as county funds. And so we have been blessed today to have the director of the field office for HUD, Adrian Fields, and also Priscilla Beckwith, who's our specialist that supports us in DeKalb. I'd like to have them both come up so you can at least see them. And all these are individuals that provide funding to the county from HUD.
Well, good morning to everybody. This is my second groundbreaking. We have been in unprecedented times the last 2 years and haven't had a chance to come out. And Alan wore me down. And so here I am in Scottsdale to see this beautiful facility for Tobie. Scottsdale. I gotta get it right. Scottsdale. To see this beautiful Scottdale. All right. Well, I feel like I belong here now, Scottdale. I got it. All right. Well, I'm excited to be here and to actually come out and see this facility. It is absolutely gorgeous. I won't be able to stay to see the tour, but I'm pretty sure Alan will bring us back so we can actually take pictures. I would like our regional administrator to see this, to actually see what community work and community effort brings. And so if Scottdale would allow me to bring him back, please pin me to come back to see this beautiful facility myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you both. HUD friends. We're going to change the focus from all county to get the community to come up. We've selected 2 individuals that have been stakeholders throughout the process to help us. Conrad Jones, you've heard of his name before, I'm quite sure. Yeah. But Conrad is going to come up and give some open remarks, followed by Carol Crumby. So, Mr. Jones, would you come up, please?
Well, good morning. Good morning. Believe it or not, when I came onto this project, they were trying to close Tobie Grant. That's what started the activism. Sabrina, Mary Williams, Gail Lundy, these people were the ones that started to fight for this community. So you all know Gail. Most of the people know Gail Lundy. Gail was a crusader for the community. She pulled a team together Sabrina named the committee the Scottdale Tobie Grant Revitalization Committee because they were trying, it looked like they were going to close this center, and there was no way we were going to let that happen. So we got together and started working, and they asked me, I'm not from Scottdale, they asked me to be the president of the committee. I'm a result-oriented person. We can look and see that we have a building now. When we started out, and I looked at that center, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this thing was 60 years old when we started. But we got with Steve Bradshaw, we got with Kathy Gannon, we worked with the county. It was hard in the beginning. It was very hard. This took 15 years. We didn't quit, but they didn't quit either. They worked with her. Kathy would bring magazines and books to the library. People think that they did not care, but they did. They worked on it. We worked on it. And so a lot of people said, well, Conway, you did a great job. I wasn't by myself. There were every person on the committee could have been the leader, could have been the president. It did not matter. But right now, I want you to know who was on this committee. First of all, there was Gail Lundy, who was the crusader for Scottdale. There was Grace Bixby, Grace's daughter, Beverly Smith, Mary Williams, who's the master cosmetologist, and Mary worked for the IRS. Sabrina also worked for the IRS. These people were professional people. It wasn't just community people who were not educated. These were educated people. Nancy Flemisher. Nancy was an architect. She looked over the blueprints. DeAndre Reed grew up in this community. He's an architect too. These were professional people. So when drawings came to us and we looked at what it took to bring this facility to fruition, what was it that we want? They all gave input. And they looked over drawings. They met with the architects for the county to make sure that we got the facility the way we wanted it, okay? We had Carol Crumby. Carol was a director at United Way. We had Rosa Stanford. We had Robert Young. He was a manager too, a professional manager. DeAndre, and of course on our committee, most people don't think of it, Alan Mitchell, Kathy Gannon, Steve Bradshaw. They worked with us in a spirit of cooperation. It was tough, but it was a spirit of cooperation. Now, basically, that's basically all I really have to say. I wanted to make sure that the members got recognition. And of course, myself, I'm a computer analyst, a senior computer analyst, been retired from 2 companies for the last 5 years. I had 1 grandchild when this started. I have 12 now. Okay. So my family has grown. And my hair was black and now it's gray. But the results that we needed for our community. We have a lot of work still. Nobody's going to come and save us. We have to save ourselves. Mr. Levitt, I've known him for years. I've seen his work in the community for years. People standing shoulder to shoulder, working for our children, not holding our heads down, standing up straight, building businesses of our own, okay, moving forward with our future. Like I say, I'm results-oriented. I'm 73, and we still going, okay? We still going. So now, with that, I'll move to the side, and and Carol Crumby, the director retired director from the United Way, will now come to this podium. If you have any questions, any projects anything that you're looking forward to, let us know. We are not done, okay? Thank you.
Hello and good morning. Is it still morning? Well, when I started this work, I wasn't using a crutch. Now I am. Oh. Can you hear me better? Super. I'm filling in for someone, Mr. Robert Young, who couldn't be here, so bear with me. I pulled this together really quickly, and you've heard so many people speak, and I know that you don't want to sit here much longer, so I'm going to try to be as quick as possible, okay? Now, I just want to take a moment to say that it's an honor to see this dream become a reality. I moved to Scottdale in December 2001. I can hardly believe that it's over 21 years. I met a young woman at a United Way community meeting. Her name was Brenda Gale Lundy. We discovered we also attended the same church, and that we learned that we were neighbors in Scottdale. That's when my lesson about the Scottdale community began, a community of many generations. Gail was like a mayor to me. She showed me all around the area. She knew everyone and was a beacon of hope of light to those who knew her. She constantly fought for citizens in Scottdale, sounding the trumpet for better resources. Gail was an educator in the school system and served as a special education teacher. She was also a civil rights activist here in Scottdale. She passed away in November 2020. And I just heard so many of you respond to the name Gail Lundy here in this community. That's the way I felt about Gail. Neighbors like Gail, and Gussie Brown, and Lucy Burrows, and Reverend Reed served early, and we stand on their shoulders. Others who are serving with us now are Sabrina Moore. Sabrina, would you raise your hand so people can see you, know who you are here? You heard some of these names mentioned. Randy Hicks served on the original group. Thank you, Randy. Grace Bigsby. Where's Grace? I know it's up. Here she is up here. Beverly Smith, her daughter. Andre Reed, who was the person that you're the architect. Where's Andre? Andre, is he here? Okay. Mary Flemister. There she is. We call her Nancy. Gussie Brown's daughter, double hand. Pardon me? Daughter-in-law. Okay. Thank you. Rosa Sandifer, is that right? Conward is a member, you heard his name mentioned. Mary Williams, is Mary here? Okay, here's Mary, and Robert Young, as well as myself, served on this committee, and we rallied behind the causes and needs of the people in Scottdale. Now we have younger and older members working together to shine in this community. A special thanks to Gail Lundy and her mom, who served also at that time. They are but a few of the families who fought fearlessly for this community. And many of you are here, know the legacies of the families in Scottdale. And I just want to salute you. If Colonel George Washington Scott, for whom this township is named, could see us now, leading the community of laborers and workers was the guardian angel named Tobie Grant. One day we will tell the story of the people in this residential community, and we will hang those names in this hall and let the story be told about the people in Scottdale, Georgia. I would like to just take a moment to recognize some people who supported our activities that we have going on here in Scottdale. And I'd like to start off with the Scottdale Child Development Center. Is Virginia here? Oh, here she is, okay. Virginia Baker is the new executive director of that facility. It's now called the Scottdale Early Learning, Inc. And Audrey Collier, who you may know, remember Audrey? Audrey's a dear friend, and she was the original person to start working with the Scottdale community and getting that center started for our children. Also, United Way of Metropolitan Area. Are any of the advisory board members here? Just to give a shout out to those people, a couple of people who worked in our area, Lynn Turknet of Turknet firm, executive firm, and Marilyn New, who is retired also. I forgot to say I'm retired also, been retired. And Robin Williams, is Robin here? Okay. Robin is not only a staff on the United Way, she is a resident here, new in this community. So tap that resource. The South DeKalb Improvement Association education members, here you are over here, which I'm a member. We have Ella Davis, who's the executive director. Okay, and Stuart Scott, he's the director of the STEM programs. They're running programs right now, working in conjunction with Hamilton, Stewart, and Conward. Stewart is a retired mechanical engineer from Georgia Tech, and Conward is a retired programmer. They are running our robotics program here in this area. Stewart is going to be taking, if you want information about that program, you can talk to Stewart or Conward and get your kids signed up or grandchildren signed up for those programs. Also, is Joy here? Joy runs our Sparks program, which is programs that we have going on with early learning and families in our schools and our apartment complexes. Also, I'd like to recognize Kara Portnow. Kara is the executive director of the Early Learning Property Management. They work with 501c3 early learning programs to build and rehab programs in the communities. Right now, they have 11 designated communities. So they've done some really good work, and I've sat on most or all of these boards working with these individuals and these programs. Also, I'd like to recognize the Clarkston Development Foundation, Roberta Malavinda. Oh, Roberta, hi. Who we have partnered with, and we have many programs going on with those individuals also. So as you can see, we've built a strong network here. We have a lot of resources. We don't have enough. We need more. We need your help. We need your support. And I just want to thank you. I'm so glad to see the subdivisions of the reserves at Mills Creek Crossings and Retreat in Mills Creek here also today. And so hello to all of you, as well as our neighbors in Scottdale and Lantern Ridge and the new Envoy across the street. If you're here from any of those areas, just know that we appreciate you and get involved, because it takes us to get things done. This is the free labor. Take advantage of it. Thank you all.
Thank you, Carl. So we've come to the end of the program. The next major event would be the ribbon cutting. So we officially end this part of the program. Thank you all for coming out to celebrate the memorializing the transfer of this building to the community, as well as parks and the library. And I encourage you to have a great day and keep in touch with DeKalb County. We do exciting things in DeKalb and look forward to seeing you all again. Stay safe. The ribbon cutting will follow at the front of the building with those individuals involved, elected officials, et cetera. Please come to the front of the building. We have the scissors and the ribbon up front. I've got the scissors here. And we have the ribbon in the back. So have a great day and thank you.